Tribe, I pray that everyone is having a fruitful as well as an eventful morning. In good spirits, and with good spirits. I'd like to send light, love, and positive energy to you all. I'm feeling real good in my spirit, very strong. Spirit led me to hop on here this morning and, make myself available. So that's what I intend on doing. Now, if you've been in tune with the last two lives, we've been going through the 12 laws of the universe, which are very important to our earthly existence. So we went through 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we want to deal with law 5 and 6. I'm not going to recite the laws. I feel like if somebody's interested in knowing, then they'll go back and do that investigation. So with no further delay, I'm going to jump right into it. The 5th law is the law of cause and effect. As you begin to grow into the newer you, the tough part is enduring the effects of your older self. See, what we do is cause. What we receive is effect. Now, as you begin to grow into your newer self, a lot of people think like, it's all good. Everything is peachy. Like, I'm going to become newer. When you set your intentions to move into your higher self, let's say that, newer self, higher self, however you equate it. That's not the tough part. That initial decision is more or less you setting your intent in the universe that you're trying to, you want to advance into the newer you. Well, on the way into the newer you, the tough part comes with dealing with the riffraff of the older you, because everything we do as cause. So no matter the minute you decide to change, or the minute you decide to ascend, you got to prepare yourself for the turbulence of the old you. It's like if I'm going up, if I'm in water, right, and the tide takes the water upstream, it may seem like it's clear, but it's not, because when the tide comes back down, it's going to bring all the debris that's in the water. So in order for me to be stable in the water, I'm going to have to be able to endure the turbulence of the tide. That's the same way when you're going into the newer you have to realize, of course, some of the things that you did, they made you want to change. And that's good. But that change doesn't come without strength. You have to have the strength to endure what you caused to happen as the older you. It's going to be closing out of your life. And on the way out, you're going to feel things hit you. Like I said, imagine the tide going upstream and then coming back. Think of that like on a personal level, and you trying to advance. So as as it's leaving out, it's things that's still hitting you, right? Old things, old desires, old patterns, old habits, old ways of thinking. All of these things are going to come back to you on the way out of your life. So you got to be prepared to face them, particularly people. People who you move away from for the betterment of self, they always seem to pop up when you're in the mode of reaching your newer self. It's a reason for that. The reason for that is that it's almost like the universe is going to test you, which does go with the next law. But always remember, we do as cause. What we do, that's the cause, right? Think about whatever we've done it because, right? Cause, you do, that's cause. You receive, that's effect. So whatever we do is going to have an effect that's going to cause us to receive. So as you begin to to understand the law of cause and effect, it brings us to the energy of accountability. See, when you have to reach accountability. Accountability is important in your anahata energy when you're dealing with cause and effect. Because out of accountability, it comes clarity, right? The clarity to understand that you are broken because of you. However, you can make it work for you. See, when I'm really, truly dealing with the law of cause and effect, and I grasp hold to it, it opens you up to it brings you to the energy of accountability. Once you become accountable, self-accountability, then you begin to look at things and understand, oh, my situation or the way I am is a direct reflection of me and the decisions that I made, I did as in cause, I received as an effect. Out of accountability springs forth a greater clarity where it gives you the energy of not feeling like life is happening to you or life is beating you down. No, life is happening for you. Whatever's hitting you is to make you stronger. That clarity doesn't come unless you find accountability. If you don't find accountability, you will fall into the energy of blame. And you'll begin to say, well, this is why this is that way, and my mother this way, so my father was that way, so I'm stuck. That's not accountability. Because there's energy within you to change any dynamic about yourself that you don't like. There's an energy that's present within you. It's called higher self. It's just that you lives on a different frequency. Whatever you can conceive is happening in real time. We multi-dimensional beings. Let me explain something to you. You wouldn't be able to conceive a better version of you if there was not a better version of you already in existence. Simultaneously. That you exist. The thoughts, what happens is, because we stuck in one dimension, we understand one dimension. We don't even understand that thoughts, right? They are a compilation of different versions of self that do exist. The higher version of you is already in existence. It's about matching the frequency where it resides at. Then you bring that you into this existence. Detail your intentions. The result of deed is inherent in the deed, which is real. Like, the result of your deed is inherent in the deed you do. Meaning, if I go do dirt, somewhere in my makeup, there's the energy of knowing that dirt will come back. Because the energy, the result, the energy of the result is inherent in the deed itself. Meaning the minute you go do it, you line yourself up to receive what comes along. Because when you did as in cause. So what you will receive, you're going to receive as an effect. Is no escaping that. That's the way that the universe operates. And Spirit says, you know what you did last summer, right? So you know what you did last summer. That's the energy of the result of the deed is inherent in the deed itself. The minute that we go do something, you already know what it's going to bring. See, we psych ourselves out. A lot of us are psych freaks, right? We particularly people that fall into the pattern of doing a lot of wrong. You know, some people, wow, I'm going to give you this. You have to be aware of some people, they are soulless, right? So when a person has effectively done so much karma, so many karmic things that their soul is outweighed by karmic debt, they continue on by sacrificing the energy of others. Because see, these kind of people, they don't really care where the karma lies. It lands on their children, it lands on their bloodline, it lands on their friends and relatives. They'll keep going. The reason why they can keep going is because they are already soulless. A soulless being is a being that you don't want to attach yourself to. Their soul is disconnected from source. Why? Because the result was inherent in the deed. See, you can't, and this is for somebody to understand. As humans, You can't make a pact with the devil that's going to make you secure. Ain't no such thing as selling your soul. You wasting your time. So when you do that, when you do these deeds that require you to compromise your soul, you don't gain security in the act of life. You destroy your karma for your act of life. And your soul is gone because you compromised it. You gave up your divinity. The result is inherent in the deed. Like, that's why we got to watch what we do, particularly in the metaphysical realm. You can't go in there doing tricks and plays and magic spells without thinking that you won't get the result that's inherent in the deed itself. See, true divine beings, particularly when we go do wrong, is always an ulterior voice, the higher self, screaming at you, don't do that. Don't do that, right? But we do it, and we don't realize we do as in cause. So what we're going to receive as an effect. There's no way of escaping that. Even spirits are confounded to those laws. This is why the energy of evil has to tell you the truth. It's up to you to receive it or not. It's never been anything hidden that was done in the darkness, not from a true divine being. In fact, evil does things right in front of you sometime because in our perception, we don't get it. We don't see it. So it's like, it's not, the accountability falls on you. Again, anytime you were deceived in life, it's because of what you did. What did you do? You believed it. That's cause. You understand? If I tell you something and you believe it, whatever happened to you is on you. Why? Because you believe in cause. So make sure what you believe in, which is cause, is going to bring forth an effect that you receive that's going to be beneficial to yourself. Because we believe. Believe is a verb. To believe is energy and motion. That's a verb. When you believe something, that's verbal. That's verb. That's verb action. That wouldn't be noun. That's verb, because you're making a move with your energy. So what you believe in and what you stand by and what you support, that's cause. What you receive from all of that is effect. And always remember, the result is inherent in the deed itself. So when you go do it, whatever it may be, just know you can't escape the consequences of it. That's not the way that the universe works. Now the next law is the law of compensation, right? This has a lot to do with the state of your alignment, right? The state of your alignment determines what you will receive from the universe, okay? Like, what you align yourself with is the energy that brings in manifestation. So what are you truly aligned with in your heart? Because this is what you're going to bring in. You won't bring in what you want in your mind. That has nothing, the universe, please understand the frequency of the universe. It has nothing to do with your emotions. The universe doesn't move on emotions. The universe doesn't move on our set of standards, morals, and principles, or none of that. The universe don't. I'm talking about the order of the universe. It can be heavenly. It can be devilish. It can be cruel. It can be a blessing. It's all according to your alignment. So whatever you're truly aligned with the universe, this is what you will be compensated for by the universe. It's a law. You cannot get away from it. And it's not, we're talking about universal compensation. We're not talking about earthly matters right now. Please make this law applicable to your spirit, right? Because it's what you're doing inside of your heart. It ain't what you're doing out for everybody to see. The universe, you could be doing great and be compensated. You will be compensated for whatever you do. That's the laws of the universe as well. But we're talking about spiritual compensation. What are you doing in your heart? Forget about what you're doing that people see. What's going on in your heart? Because what's going on in your heart, that's what the universe sees. The universe moves to the frequency of that. Because what's in your heart determines your altitude, right? frequencies, they exist on altitude in life, you know. So what's going on in your heart, it could be low vibrational. Yeah, you could appear to be on a high vibration to those that don't know, but your heart is going to reveal the intensity of your vibration and the intention of your vibration, right? What's in there, that's what the universe is going to compensate you for, right? The energy of the Bible says something about compensation. It says, God is a rewarder to them who diligently seek him. So understand, if I'm seeking after the energy of God, that's in your anahata space. That's sacral, right? That's something that people can't see. It's intangible. But the universe can see very well, right? So that's why it says, God is a rewarder to them who seek him diligently. Now, surely you can't seek God in the physical diligently. You will never find the energy of God is metaphysical. So this seeking that we do is not the tangible. It's taking place on the inside, right? It's that kind of energy. So once we can really, really grasp hold to that God is a rewarder to those who diligently seek him, then we can understand that what we doing in here is what really matters. Not what we doing before the eyes of men. It's never good to seek another man's blessing because you can be compensated, and it often leads to the reward of that man's curses. You understand? See, when we look at people, like you may look at somebody and be like, well, they were a person and I believe I can be better for that person. Or I see that person and I believe if I was in that person's life, I would be better. Right? That's because you witnessing somebody's blessing on display. So the energy, it looks very good. It looks like you could step in and do better. But what you don't realize a lot of time, because what we do, we move in this airhead mode, right? Where we look at what people project and we begin to fit ourselves into people's blessings, right? But the universe doesn't like that. So what the universe will reward you with, okay, you want the man's blessing? Well, let's see if you can endure the man's curse that he had to endure to obtain the blessing. That's where oftentimes people bite off more than they can chew, or they step into energies that make them fold and crumble. You have to ask yourself, did you move into the energy because you was watching somebody else do it? Because you secretly could be coveting their blessing. Don't move into nothing like that. Like, don't look at other people's relationships. Don't look at, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what God is doing. You don't know. All you know is that that person's blessing look like something that you should have. Don't ever let that energy befall you, because the universe is definitely going to see if you worthy to walk in that person's shoes, right? And let's just say you are. Okay. But are you worthy to walk in that man's curses as well? See, if you want the man's blessing or you want the woman's blessing, you got to be able to endure the curses that came along with the blessing. That's what people don't realize. Big blessings come along with big curses a lot of times. How did that person reach that height? They fought a lot. Can you fight the same? Well, don't do that, because you force yourself into the law of compensation the wrong way. Like, you will be compensated for whatever you do, big or small, by the universe. And that means, if that's the case, and the universe is full of these laws, Hierophant, how do I stay in line? All of the laws of the universe, y'all, they correlate with intention. They not the 10 Commandments. It's not about, see, the 10 Commandments is about instructions of earthly matters, like what we do in the physical. The laws of the universe, they stand up to every spirit and energy that's moving in the whole universe. Nothing gets around it. Everything is bound by these 12 laws. the whole ancestors and everything, they all bound in us as well. So long as once we begin to realize that, we'll begin to realize that these laws, they govern the metaphysical part of my life. They govern the intangible part. They govern the spiritual aspect of myself. These 12 laws. That's why we got to focus on them, because they are the ones that the 12 laws, they govern the intentions of men. Like in Corinthians, I believe it's Corinthians, but it speaks about the energy of God being a discerner of men's hearts. That's a universal energy. That's like saying, like, what's in your heart, that's what's being read by the universe. Not the pump faking that we do, not the way we want to appear. Like, none of that matters. None of it. And as you begin to ascend, you'll see exactly what I'm saying by none of that matters. What matters is the state of your heart, your anahata space, your heart chakra, right? That right there, it need you. I'm going to say this, and I feel authorized to say this. In order for you to truly, truly align yourself with the 12 laws of the universe, you got to have freedom in your anahata. Like, love has to be able to flow through you, because the highest frequency is love. Right? Only thing higher than love is authenticity. That and we still don't even get that. We move around thinking that love. No, the authentic version of you is immersed in love, because it's connected to the origin of the divine. Anything that bears authenticity, God in it. It don't matter how you perceive it. You can see a musician do a great tune, authentic, God in that. You can see a man do a dance, God in that. You can see a person do anything that's authentic, God is in it. The devil can't bring forth that kind of energy. Authenticity doesn't lie with evil. It lies in the origin of the divine. So when you reach your authentic version of you, kudos. Now you in heavenly places. And that's the reality of it. These laws are not a religious construct. They supersede what religion would be. Even religion is governed by the laws of the universe. You see what I'm saying? These are laws that when we move through life and we ignore them, because a lot of these laws, they written on your heart already. You know them. If you pay attention to your higher vibration, everything I'm saying, it will agree with you, because it's a part of you locked away in your Akashic record that understands everything I'm saying. It's the greater you, and it will agree with this, because this is from that source. Like, it's time for us to stop walking around and being mechanical. You have to feel. You have to feel. Everything you're doing, you should be feeling it. If you're doing something and you ain't feeling it, and I ain't talking about your emotions necessarily, I'm talking about the deeper part of you that's connected to God. Sometimes it go over top of the voice of any man that you look up to. We all have our elders, and we all have, but it's something about a mission. When God puts you on it, you can't expect the elders to see what God given you, or you have to really be in tune, because some things God gonna say only to you. And it's like, it reminds me of a man from the Bible, and I can't think of his name. I think his name might have been Naaman. I might not be right, but he was instructed by the prophet to dip itself in the river Jordan 7 times, right? In order for him to be healed. He could not receive that. He was like, I don't know about that. But then when he listened to the voice that resonated deep within him, he knew, okay, let me go do this, right? He didn't, and that's the way that it should be. Like, when you get something that's truly from the divine, right? It's not always going to necessarily resonate with your mind like it's supposed to. But when you sat down in your meditative state, what is a meditative state? Sitting by yourself. That's how the divine ones reach meditative state. You sit by yourself. When you sit by yourself, that's when the download, that's when the real energy come in. That's when everything come in. See, we got to stop always moving on what we hear before we can process it. It's like the voice of God. That's what you need to hear. That's what they telling me. Whichever way it come in, let the voice of God be on it. If a man give it to you, sit down in your meditative state. Run it through. See what it's saying to you. Right? If you hear something and it doesn't necessarily agree with your elders or whatever, sit down by yourself before you go. And then when you get that word, go express yourself to them. If you got an elder and you can't express yourself to them, you're not in the right place. You're supposed to be able to challenge anything you was taught. Law of correspondence. If you don't challenge it, that's on you. See, if I give you something and it's meant to derail you, and you derail, the energy on you. It's not on the person that tried to derail you. It fall on you. For when you derail yourself, think about it. Anytime you ever been in trouble or in a situation that you caused, after you realize can't nobody save you but you, then the sudden reality of, I gotta deal with this. I got to deal with this. That's the same way in regards to your spiritual state, the shape of your spiritual existence. If you let people derail you, when you derail, it ain't on them. It's on you. That's just like giving yourself to somebody in hopes of being rewarded by the universe. It don't always work like that. You can sit up there and give yourself to somebody and get nothing out of it. And they can gain everything. And you can look at the universe like, well, why is it like that? God is not fair. And the universe to say, well, nobody told you to keep giving. Nobody told you to keep doing what you was doing. You were telling you that. So always pay attention, y'all. The laws of the universe, they are strict governing values. They don't bend, they don't fold. This is the way this thing works, the universe. This is, and always remember, we not the only ones bound by it. Spiritual energies too. So when you really want to learn how to protect yourself, learn those laws. Learn to stick people to the laws. Like, for instance, say somebody do a baneful magic trick on you. And you go and you pray to God. And God saves you. God spares you. But God don't necessarily turn back the energy of that magic, right? God give you the grace that you need to walk through it. It's on you to figure out that all you need to say is, I return at the sender. I rebuke that. I move that. I see that. I call that thing out. I put some authority on that thing in my life. And I demand it to leave out of my home right now. And fix everything on the way out. Pick up everything on the way out. Leave my house like it was when you leave. This is how you gotta learn how to treat evil. But you only can do that when you understand the laws of the universe. Because if somebody do something wrong to me in the metaphysical and I ain't did nothing to them, I'm justified to do whatever I need to do. If I do something, God supports it. Why? Because that's correspondence right there, right? God, this person sent this to me. It don't belong to me. Can you give it back to them? I sent it right on back. It ain't mine. I ain't do nothing to deserve that. I didn't ask for that. I don't need nobody in my energy. I don't need nobody manipulating my energy. I call back my energy. All these things, you do these when you begin to understand the law of the universe. See, it all begins to work smoother. Then you don't walk around fearing things. You walk around striving for alignment. Because you know once you align, ain't too much to fear. The energy of purpose, I spoke about that last night. I venture to say there is no greater protection than the energy of one's purpose. Because when you truly in your purpose, you connected to the divine. You got energies like Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Phanuel. You got all of the energies on deck, ready, right? Or you can look at it as Orisha, however you want to look at it, right? Mega power, the Slavic pantheon, Peron, Mokash and all of them, the Asian pantheon, the Egyptian pantheon, however you want to relegate it, right? When you in your purpose, oh, you protected by that. Whatever your purpose linked to, the big boys, they going to hold you down. Those deities, they going to guard. People who work for God, they are protected. You view God how you see God. Ain't nobody got no right to tell you who God is. You know who God is. You know how you was taught, whatever you was trained, whatever was put in you, however you reached the divine, right? That's your God. Long lesson you honor that, that's your greatest form of protection, whatever it may be. Don't be a person out here giving over to spirits and harvesting energy of others to make magic work. How long you think that's going to happen? Eventually you're going to run into somebody that got some real authority, and that's going to be the end of you. That's the danger in being disobedient to the laws of the universe and breaking spiritual law. When you break spiritual law, it's only a matter of time for you get caught. It's only a matter of time before you do something to somebody that understand the law and they call you on it. And when those things happen, that's like the evidence in the physical. Because when if you messing with somebody and they already ranked in spirit, your life is already going to be being destroyed on a spiritual level. You may not feel it or understand it, but that's why it's important to stay in your lane, right? And respect people and be humble to what they believe in, be understanding to what they have to say about their belief. Anything outside of attacking them spiritually about what they believe, don't do that. You don't know who walking with who. And that's reality. It reminds me of a little story that I know about two people. It was one person, and they was born into a race of people that had nothing to do with their culture, right? But they were born into this race of people. Like, the father was linked into a culture, the mother was a culture. So they were born into the mother's culture. But biculturally, they were connected to a highly protected family. So lo and behold, as this person went in life, they bore they resembled the people of their culture, not their mom's culture, their dad's culture. They resembled these people. So lo and behold, these people begin to notice that this person resembled them. So they begin to attack this person spiritually. But what they really didn't realize was this person was ranked spiritually in their culture higher than them by way of descent, by way of order, of the divine. Like this baby was born and linked to this power. So these people, they begin to challenge this person because they didn't understand the ranking. So they end up losing everything they had spiritually and then having to go to the person they attacked for advice because they didn't realize this person who they was. That's why we say you don't know who walking with who. Don't be judgmental. If anything, offer understanding. Christ did it. You ain't see Christ judge nobody. In fact, he said, give a man what belong to him. Remember, he said, give Caesar, render Caesar what's belong to Caesar. Right? Give me what belong to me. That's the energy of understanding at its finest. He ain't say Caesar coin ain't working. He said, no, get that, render what Caesar's unto Caesar. Give it to him. Right? It's like That's the energy we have to be in, to really be safe and aligned and obedient to the laws of the universe. All the other laws, they small, even the laws of the land. They a micro reflection of a macro. Like the laws of, that's why you gotta obey the laws of the land. If you don't obey the laws of the land, you're gonna fail at obeying the laws of the spirit. Because when it's time to choose the law of the spirit, you're gonna choose the law of natural land. See how that works? That's compensation at its finest. If I can't be obedient to the laws of this land, I will never be obedient to spiritual law. Because when spiritual law says, okay, this energy outrank natural law. If God ever say, move in spirit against natural law, you're going to fall right into natural law that you broke because you know it. See, you got to follow in the governing of things that you don't know to understand things that you don't know. It's like, why do God want me to follow the law of the land? I don't know. God doesn't even support all the laws of the land, but he says follow them because it's teaching you how to follow law. So when it's time to follow spiritual law, you groomed already. If you a lawbreaker in society, right? What makes you think you're going to be obedient to spiritual law? You're going to look at spirit. If you're a robber and a thief, you're going to go in the spirit and try to be a robber and a thief. It ain't going to change because your mindset is already, your intentions, they have a lot to do with your state of mind. So we got to change that. So those were your two downloads according to the law of cause and effect and the law of compensation, the fifth and sixth law of the universe. I pray that it resonated and God bless you all. We will be back shortly with the tarot readings, what is it? What your higher self saying in the next, what to look for in the next 7 day energy tarot readings. So give us a minute. I think I'm gonna put some breakfast together for the house. But I love you all, and I really appreciate you being here. It confirms something deep within me. We are moving. The birds can be significant. Pay attention to them. I'm saying a lot of people come into contact with owls. The ancestors are manifesting. That's the energy of Lilith, a powerful energy. But nevertheless, owls could be significant and ravens could be significant. There's a lot of ornithomancy taking place right now. The world is not confined to the energy of Pisces anymore, y'all. We in the age of Aquarius. Be prepared to see things you've never seen before. I feel like somebody's lights are flickering a lot. And you could be seeing the shadow of entities. Like, you know, you look and you see something move. You could be going through that. You could be saying all of these types of things, they happen in the Aquarius era. This is not what you think it is, what we living in. See, even with the ancestors, and I'm going to say this before I go because they've been keep urging me to do this. They were bound by the laws of the Pisces era. The eras are agreements. Like in an era when the earth goes through an era, there are certain things in that era that won't be uncovered. And there's certain things in that era you just won't know until that era passes. Well, the era of the Pisces was the era of pretty much religion and secrecies and secret societies and the occultists running everything. And that I have nothing against anybody, right? As long as they using what they got for good intent, we good. I mean, and even if you're not, we still good. Just stay away from me with it, right? But nevertheless, we are in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the age of universal revelation. That's why world sigils are coming uncovered. They finding giants now, the bones of giants. I mean, they were finding them before, but not like now. Like now, they are actually finding like giants, like bones that is undeniable now. Like it's assimilated to, okay, we knew it was dinosaurs. Now we have to really begin to accept the energy that, yeah, it was humans, biggest dinosaurs, and they're recorded, right? But the age of Pisces, they kind of held all that back. Well, the age of Aquarius is the age of knowing. Also, the ancestors have liberty. They couldn't communicate with us like they can now. That's why you're seeing all these birds, man. They love to manifest through birds, insects, particularly bees, butterflies. You have your mantis. Now, low vibrational insects, they of the demonic, like flies and roaches. You feel them in your spirit. You know what's ancestral and what's not if you pay attention to your spirit. You have a knowledge of these things that I'm speaking of. So, like I said, the birds could be significant, or necromancy. Pay attention to them. Allow it to resonate with you. I'm out of here. I love you all. God bless you.